Yes, is Demetrius Holloway. Demetrius is an attorney specializing in employment law and a member of Stites and Harbison. Demetrius, we appreciate you joining us here today.
Thank you, Mayor. Enjoyed being here.
Well, and thank you for your expertise on the guidelines. Just share with us a little bit about what you're hearing from businesses and how you're counseling them and what we need to know.
I think what we're hearing mostly from businesses is trying to make a decision on whether or not and how to go about checking employees for vaccinations, what they can and cannot ask, how to handle those situations where individuals are either refusing or are uncertain about getting a vaccination, whether it be for medical reasons or just personal fear. Those are the biggest issues I think that have been coming up with us right now. And I think what we've been advising is, employers and businesses have the right to ask about the vaccination status of their employees and patrons. And the reason is because it's not what we traditionally would say is those type of questions are prohibited under the ADA because it's a medical related inquiry. But here we're looking more at the CDC has said that we are looking at an issue that is a safety issue and not a medical related inquiry. So I think that question is out there. You can make those inquiries. You can ask your employees. The employers can ask their employees to show their vaccination card. However, we also know that this information is confidential. So you keep that information confidential. It's not to be shared with everyone, et cetera. So those are the type of things that we've been mostly addressing at this time. And otherwise, maintain the same practice. If you're not vaccinated, for example, we are here, we have to wear our masks and social distance if we are not vaccinated. So we're following those guidelines to that point. Those who are vaccinated don't have to. So just trying to take all the measures and safety protocols and keep those in mind and try to, as we keep saying, try to just be safe at work.
Yeah. Demetrius, what do you anticipate as this becomes more and more of an issue? And do you see like you're going to a restaurant, somebody's not behaving responsibly? Obviously, the restaurant owner can refuse to serve someone like that. Is that correct?
Sure. I mean, you can ask them. They either, if they have, proof of vaccination or say they're vaccinated, or they're either otherwise they have to follow the mandates that are currently in place as far as masking, etc.
And then do you anticipate okay, well, show me your vaccine card? Is that how that's working out for the most part, or how's that going?
Well, I guess that's the only way you could to actually be sure. I mean, someone could say, yes, I'm vaccinated and not be vaccinated. I don't know if everyone will have those, so that may be an issue. So that's why I think, one of the things will be is, okay, well, here still is we have masks here, or can you go get a mask from your car, whatever the case may be. The only question you have there is we know that there are a couple of situations. For example, there are some individuals with disabilities where wearing a mask might be problematic. And then you have to kind of figure out how to get around that issue and make that person, accommodated if you can do so safely.
Okay, so those will be exceptions, but we got to pay attention to them.
Yes.
And then what about, do employers have to make accommodations for their employees to get vaccinated?
I think, what the guidance is basically what I've seen in most places. There are several states where they're saying, yes, you have to do that. Illinois, I just saw recently, is saying they recommend that. But in general, employers are not required to make any special accommodations, but I think it's just smart business to do so.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be beneficial. If an employer requires you to get a vaccination, then that's going to be compensable time. So if my employer says you have to have a vaccination, the time I spent going to get that can be compensable time. But otherwise, the best case scenario is allow people to use some of their paid time off, an hour of their PTO, whatever it may take for them to do that in order to get that vaccination and get back in.
Okay, and then last question, let's say I'm applying for a job.
Yes.
Can that prospective employer require me to show proof of vaccination?
Well, what we have under the ADA, you cannot ask any disability related question until there's been a conditional offer of employment made. So you have to have already said, you know, I want to hire you, you're got the job, but I need to check these couple of items. And then at that point, you can ask question about a vaccination and then go from there. But you can definitely ask for it. But again, only after you've made an offer of a conditional offer of employment.
Okay. And then if I'm not vaccinated, that they can withdraw the offer?
Well, I think what you can say is, well, you have two issues there. Again, we go back to one, sincerely held religious belief that prohibits a vaccination, and or disability related issue that causes you not to be able to get vaccinated. There are some people who are going to have conditions where vaccination could be problematic for them health wise. Under those two conditions, you need to try to reasonably accommodate those individuals in that situation. Otherwise, yes, a regular role, I don't have it, and I don't want to get it for my own personal reasons. Nothing under those two conditions. I think, yes, you definitely can.
Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate that, Demetrius. Hang with us if you would to see if there's any media questions coming up.
Will do.
Okay, Jess, back to you.